Somebody told me 2 years ago that I'd be riding horses for the U.S. Army. I told them they're crazy.
When your back's hurting and your knees and ankles are aching and all you want to do is sleep, that's when it really comes in, where your heart shows through and where it really shows if you want to be a tomb guard.
It's ruthless on a team, and that's how you stay so proficient. If your standards are slipping, you have some guy ready to step up and fill your spot.
If they see us playing, it sparks true patriotism.
What we do here is 100%. There is no room for error.
A horse can get sick from, they do what they call colic. They can get that from eating while they're overheated. They can get it from eating too much hay without drinking water. They can get it from not drinking enough water just itself. They can get it if they're stressed out. So, you just have to kind of, what is it? Like an ounce of prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth like a pound of cure or something like that. It's true with these guys. And then the pink stuff I've been giving them is electrolytes. We give that to them in the morning and at night, and it makes them drink water during the day. And then in the afternoon, again, so they're less likely to hydrate.
Our busy days are the days that we are in the cemetery. And those are the days where soldiers are going to start out. They'll be here at the barn at 4 o'clock in the morning doing tack. Tack refers to the saddles, all the leather, everything that is actually placed on the horse for the funeral.
Everything we do in the morning, as far as shining it, is what will be done for the day, and when they get back at night, they actually go through and thoroughly clean the leather. And there's certain days where they'll put like leather food and leather dye on to help bring the color back and keep the leather healthy. But during the day, it's pretty much just trying to maintain it as opposed to clean it after every mission. It was actually designed, I believe, kind of after the English saddle, but specifically to help the horse. The idea behind it was that even though it's uncomfortable for the soldier, it's good for the horse. Since a good horse is hard to find, but soldiers are usually come by.
We should get 6 in there first. Normally we put 7, but we don't have all the loops.
In the start of a normal day, you would actually have to wash horses. They're just like us. They don't want to be woken up so early in the morning. So, they're still kind of groggy. They're a little grumpy at times. So, you have to deal with, and you have to actually make sure their hooves are set and that their shoes are on tight. Because if they actually manage to throw a shoe during a cemetery, it would wear down the hoof a lot, and we can't have that.
We generally polish all the brass on the wagon in the morning, and in the afternoon we'll go down, brush it down, take all the stuff out of the limber, all the trash, from the day. But for the most part, they get cleaned just in the morning, and then we're in the cemetery all day after that.
17775 center.
17775 center. Every day when I come in and I come to work, I literally wake up in the morning and tell myself I am a tomb guard. Every day we have from 5 to 5:30. We'll come down, inspect the quarters. We will accept quarters. 6:30, the new soldiers in training are inspected. They come up, they have a minute to get from the back of quarters up to the front of quarters, set up their rack, and whoever is responsible, whoever is their trainer, will gig them or give them their corrections. And if they feel like their uniform is in good enough condition to walk, then they will be written in the schedule, and they will be allowed the opportunity to earn more walks to go outside.
All right, you're making good improvement. Just need to work on the same
Same spots, trouble areas where the cracks are. You got your micrometer? That's what I like to see. Gigs fixed. Much better on the steam. It looks a lot more fresh, flat. These are looking a little dull.
I'm not a photogenic person.
Measurements are money today, though. A little more steam just on these press marks. A little more. Just go over it when you think you're done. Go over it one more time.
This 4 a.m. when I get in the time.
All right. A little more steam right here. Inside, not bad. Just a little. You got a little smudge on your hat, Bill. See it? There's straps. It's kind of close. Do you have the paint cut off where it is?
Right.
You see that smudge? Did you put anything on it this morning?
I did. I Blue Magic.
All right.
I might have bumped it or something.
Yes. Just be careful when you're bringing it up here. Keep bruising. Your metal pieces are almost there. This looks a lot better today. Line 6 of the Sentinel's Creed is my standard will remain perfection. Now, every tomb guard understands that there is no such thing as perfection. And what that says is that we will constantly work harder every day. We will never settle. We will constantly work harder to be the best we could possibly be. When we're tired, when we're really hurting and our backs are hurting and our knees are hurting, we're still going to stand straight and we're still going to put forth the same amount of effort because of who we represent. We will always work, and that's the little sacrifice that we have committed to make to honor those fallen soldiers and the unknown soldiers.
After a couple days, you kind of get used to the pain, and you just work through it, and the rewards outweigh the pain.
Herbie, Betty, Buddy, Bird. Herbie, Betty, Buddy, Bird. Singer, Tom. Tony.
Start tacking up at 6:30. We will bring the horses back out and out back. We'll hook them up to the wagon around 7:30, 7:45, and we'll try to roll out from here at about 8 o'clock. First funeral starts at 09. The second funeral will be at 11. The third funeral will be at 13, and the fourth will be at 1500. And then at the end of the last funeral, the 1500, we roll back here to the barn. We untack all the horses, and then we spend about 2 hours clean and tack. We usually get out of the barn around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Rain, shine, hot, cold, we're out there doing it.
Forward! Ho! Quick!
It's a 1903 Springfield. It's about 10.5 pounds, depending on weapon.
With our performance weapons, they're completely made out of wood, except for the chrome parts. With our practice weapons, the ones that you'll be seeing a lot around here today, we have black barrels and plastic stock, so if something happens and they break, they're a lot easier to replace. And the same with the bayonets. We don't chrome the bayonets on the practice weapons because if they do break, then we can just put another chrome bayonet on. And we use the tape here so the bayonets don't break. And just little things here and there. We put tape on certain parts of the weapon to kind of hold it together on the practice weapons. And with our wood weapons, we try to keep them as clean and neat as possible, but with the job and hitting the weapon and doing the things that we do with the weapon, they kind of start to fall apart pretty fast. So real bayonet, we get them very sharp. They're actually made to fight with when we first get them, and we have to dull them down. And we try to keep them dull. If you spin it fast enough, it doesn't matter how hard or dull it is, it still cuts you up pretty bad.
All right, bring it in. That's not the only problem though. When we're going out into X and O's, the 2 and 3 men aren't getting where they left at. I watched it, and before we went out in X and O's, we were good. On the way back, you guys automatically condense it down. I don't know what it is. Make sure you're getting back to your spots so that we have that 2 full steps for the cluster.
So keep that in mind. You want to keep it the same speed throughout the whole manual. Don't speed up just that one section. And in the circle, there's still 2 or 3 people that are leaving gaps.
Don't lose your head. We got those 4 more times for arch, just for dress. All right, so make sure you're paying attention, you know where you're at. Dress to the shoulders, but also pay attention to where you're at on the line panel. We have soloists, which obviously they do the solo routine. They're the lead trainers and everything related to the drill. We have the 2 specialties, which are the throwers and catchers for the overhead rifle toss. Obviously, throwers throw it, catchers catch it, and they also run the ends of the line. And they typically lead training for the regular drillers. We call them RDs for short. They do everything within the performance, but it's just the basic moves and manuals. And so the way we have it set up is the RDs will lead the newer guys, trying to teach them the drill, get better at their regular standards. The specialty will teach the RDs how to do the specialties job, and soloist teaches the specialty how to do the soloist job.
You guys as 21s are really, really shaky. You gotta hit, go into the 21, do your proper choo-choo, and tuck it, and squeeze as hard as you can, because you can tell if some of you marking time, it's like wobbling, and you can see it really bad. And same thing with the flare hand. Keep the flare hand up. Don't let it wobble around.
We're our hardest critics, and that's what keeps us sharp. We have drills actually where get the guys all stressed up in the middle of while they're running through the performance, and that way if they can maintain composure and continue with the performance in a stressful environment, then a little mistake in front of a crowd is nothing, and they go on. We teach them, if you mess up, you continue going on like you were the only one that was right and everybody else was wrong.
We don't get a chance to come out of the cemetery.
A lot of times we're in the cemetery, though, we have tape and brushes that we can clean off if, a horse slobbers on us or we're coated in white horsehair.
We gotta go.
Will! Whoa. We're good-ish. Not too far.
The lead horse are the first 2 at the front of the wagon, and then you've got swing or the second 2, and then wheel will be the 2 that are closest to the actual wagon itself.
United States Army. Wheel. Lead. Ready. Swing. Ready. Case on. Forward. Oh.
For me, what's running through my head from the time I leave the barn is first, are my horses doing what they're supposed to do? Am I doing my job by making sure that they're doing their job? Secondly is I got to make sure that I and everybody else on my wagon looks good and is presentable for the family of the loved one that's being buried. So that's kind of what's going through my head the entire day. A, my horses, and B, am I in a position where I look good enough that I'm doing justice to the person that is being buried.
For us, when we go through the gates, we go through the Arlington gates, the sunlight's always coming up right there, and you can see it glaring off of that marble. Now, that's one of my enjoyments. That's one of the things that fuel me through the day. Sometimes you hear a lot of pain from others in there, and it does disturb you sometimes. But whenever you sit back and you look at Arlington as a whole, the place is beautiful. So yeah, I wouldn't mind being here when I'm out.
I am Staff Sergeant Gilliam of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army.
I mean, I'm convinced it's the best job I've ever had, best job I'm ever gonna have. All right, before guard change, it'd be myself, and whoever is going to be replacing the soldier on the mat will be here in the ready room. Whenever the time we're waiting on bells for the top of the hour, or if it's bottom of the hour, we'll look at the clock. Hey, I'm just looking at the stats right now. I'll leave from here ahead of the soldier that's getting replaced. I'll walk onto the plaza. I'll come all the way to center, salute the tomb, of course, make an announcement to the crowd of what's about to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Gilliam of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, commander of the relief Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard.
Salute the tomb again. I walked to the inspection block. And in the time that I walked up and made the announcement, the soldier that was down here, he would have left, and he takes his spot in the inspection block. I take steps in front of him. I fully inspect the weapon, give it back to him. Inspect his uniform, come around, inspect the back of his uniform. And then we'll go to center, as we call it, which is the center of the plaza. I bring everyone together. They'll be at different arms. I bring the port arms.
Hey! Reason.
Face the tomb. We'll all salute the tomb. We'll face back, and they'll pass on their orders.
Pass on your orders.
Post and orders. Remain as directed. Orders. Acknowledged.
Ready. Hey.
The soldier that's coming off, he would say, post and orders, remain as directed. You know, just saying that, you know, just business as usual. You're gonna stay here, you're gonna go out the unknowns. The oncoming soldier will say, orders acknowledged, saying, I understand what's going on. We'll face the tomb again. We'll all salute. We'll face back.
All out.
We'll walk out, and you know, the soldier that's coming off would be dismissed from duty, will fall out, and then we'll both leave the plaza.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
The reason why we do the challenges the way that we do them is because when you actually do get in a performance, those nerves are going to be doubled, tripled. You're going to be way worse than you were during your challenge. So we like to, you know, give you a little taste of that, and then when you actually do get out on the drill floor, you know, you have a little bit to work with, a little bit of experience.
I will be testing to catch. Hopefully all goes well.
Challenge is pretty much saying that you are better than one of the people in the performance, and therefore you could bring more to the performance by taking that person out. Try and build the guys up. Everybody believes that they're the best at their job, and so winning a challenge is one step in proving that you are the best.
They will throw you, obviously you have to have your blouse on, seatbelt, steel, and sea cap, and your catching glove. They'll throw 8 shots. If you get 6 out of 8, then you pass. If you get 8 out of 8, then you pass and you're automatically in the drill. Once you pass the catch test, then you got to challenge a catcher in the drill. And if you beat him, then you get the slot in the drill.
It's ruthless on the team, and that's how you stay so proficient on the team. Basically, you have, if your standards are slipping, you have some guy ready to step up and fill your spot the right way. So that's the way the drill team works right there.
Manual's a lot better. The catches weren't there today, obviously. There was a couple where you crept up on your 2 and 3 men. I don't know if you're trying to protect them or whatever, but when the shot's long, you got to get back there. I think not the 1.5, but the 1 before was like that. You caught it behind you. You're catching it with your back a lot. The overspun you didn't react to right. That was a low overspun, so you could have hit it cash, but if you're going to hit it cash, then you have to hit it. Not your best test. It didn't pass you. Range from, Humphrey gave you 5 at best. He gave you like 3.5. So, you better next time. Just relax. You know what you're doing. Just let it happen.
Doesn't mean anything that you didn't pass your first test. I didn't either.
Take it again next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday. You just need a week, train up, and then you can test again after a week. The test is pretty difficult. You have to react well. You get 6 perfect shots that are thrown, and you have to crush them with little to no movement once you hit the weapon. And then there's 2 that are just thrown as a surprise, and they can either be over-rotated or under-rotated depending on what the thrower throws at the time. So it all gets into the kind of what-if scenarios. In a performance, what if this happens? You have to be able to read the weapon almost instantly. As soon as it releases their hand, so you can react accordingly.
Yeah, we're never seen, but we're always heard.
Somebody told me 2 years ago that I'd be riding horses for the U.S. Army. I told them they're crazy.
When your back's hurting and your knees and ankles are aching and all you want to do is sleep, that's when it really comes in, where your heart shows through and where it really shows if you want to be a tomb guard.
It's ruthless on the team, and that's how you stay so proficient. If your standards are slipping, you have some guy ready to step up and fill your spot.
If they see us play, it sparks true patriotism.
What we do here is 100%. There is no room for error.
Bugles are up, no fanfare.
The history of fife and drum really is one that it is crucial to the formation of the United States. It was the communication corps of the Army. What was so interesting is in the 1700s you had no radios, you had no cell phones, no anything. So if you wanted to relay commands, you did it through the sounds of the fife, drum, and the bugle. Rehearsal is a very big part of it. Now, the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps is the face of the Army. We're goodwill ambassadors as we travel, and that's who we represent, is the Army, is the United States. So in keeping with that tradition, we need to make sure that we exemplify what is the Army, which is precision. Which is our music up to the most high standards that you can possibly imagine. So rehearsal happens every day, and beyond everyday performances and rehearsals, just like any full-time musician, it's up to you to go home and then hone your skill. When it's a passionate thing that you have to play your instrument, it's something easy. You want to go home to practice, you want to go home to better yourself.
Ahead of the beat, actually.
Question about that. Does the drum part slow down during our chord count turn to the back?
It's not supposed to.
Feels like it to me.
Okay. But still, just all the way through that. Okay. Then immediately following the interlude, tempo change, the leg lift. Our initial mark time there, boom, boom, not quite on.
The troop step, that's kind of our signature. I think it's the most impressive thing that we do. It's hard to describe without showing.
What's so odd about the troop step is that you are playing at the same time, and you're then pointing your toe, dropping your toe, play at the same time, pick up the other foot, drop it, put it down, play, all of this at the same time. So it is truly like patting your head and rubbing your belly. And what makes it so difficult is at the same time of trying to make sure that you're in perfect phasing with everybody else, make sure that you're in perfect time, you also have to make sure that most obviously you're playing the correct music. So it's something that out of all the training, it takes us 6 months to train in the Fife and Drum Corps, something that probably takes the longest because it involves coordination, memorization, and then focus.
Forward, left, left.
We're all actually 11 Charlies, indirect fire infantrymen, mortarmen by trade. And that's because back in the 40s when they actually used these weapons, it was actually an infantryman crew that was on these weapons as direct fire weapons. That's how we came to be.
Settle down.
Settle down! Close on lead guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, left, 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 right, left, 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 right.
We train daily, rigorously. That's what our job is. That's our job here. You know, everything is perfect. There is no mistakes. There is no room for error. What we do here is 100%. You know, there's no room for error.
Left. 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 Battery. Halt.
We have 3 sections. There's first and second section, which is the gun line, and that involves the loaders, which load the rounds, the 75 millimeter blank rounds. And then there's the gunner, which is responsible for making sure they fire precisely with the counter.
Top.
And the watchman, and you know, they go off his cue, and it's all in one instant. It's a lot going on.
Ceremonial at heat.
Then there's the watch section, which consists of the counter, who keeps track of the rounds, the watchman, who keeps time with the stopwatch. We do 3, 5, and 9 second missions, and then there's also the assistant watchman, who would make sure that the watchman is exactly on time, because there's no room for error with that.
You start on the gun line, and the first qualification you go as is loader. And then comes backup loader, then followed by gunner, left-handed gunner, and backup gunner. Right now, I'm loader, backup loader, and right-handed gunner.
Once you're on the battery, you're at ceremonial at ease. Then the commo rep will come over. He'll give you a call sign, Quebec 1-4, and at that point you'll initiate ready battery.
Ready. Battery.
And everyone snaps to pretty much parade rest. And then from there it's settle down.
Settle down.
The gunner grabs the lanyard, loader grabs another round. Stand by. The one gun gunner, he'll look at you, and then fire. OIC will drop his hand, and that one gun fires. And then from there, it's on the watchman to call each gun at the specific interval from that point on. And then once that's done, last round, the counter, he'll yell that out.
Last round.
He calls that last round, he fires. They say staff ready, cut. Downrange, we render a hand salute, and then we march off the battery.
Order. Guns about. Gun forward. 4-step staff. Hose on lead gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left. 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 Ready. Snap. Left. 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 Up. You got this. Get it, Blaney. You got this? All that pushing there, just back the truck. Right up into it. Stop. Back. Back.
Transformation is complete.
What we do is we make all of the harness from scratch and pattern for case up. Yes. We're actually maintaining 6 sets of complete tag. We got 4 for case that actually go out in the cemetery. We have 1 in training of horses and 1 in training of soldiers. And I would say they keep us pretty busy. 90% of what we did before me going to class, we did by hand. meaning everything was sewn with 2 needles and thread. And it was very time consuming, but it taught us a lot about the actual art itself. Now you see we're using the machine. We can actually put out a nicer looking product, and we can put out more. Did you take this apart? Ideally, it would take us probably about a week to 10 days to make one, because it's going through 3 to 4 thickness of leather. And we're talking 1 stitch at a time. Poke a hole, you stitch it up. And now we have the capabilities of putting maybe 2 to 3 of those together a day. Before the guys actually get on this machine, I like to teach them the trade first. They don't like it. They're probably a little uncomfortable over there now saying stitching, but it teaches them the trade.
Tough level. Give me a drill and a bit.
It's just my job to make sure that when they go out, they look the very best they can do.
Well, right now, all we're doing is oiling the saddle. So yesterday we put leather dye on, let it soak in, it darkens the leather, gets it looking good and black again. And then today, we wipe off the extra leather dye, whatever didn't soak into the saddle, and then we oil it, which the oil softens and helps preserve the leather, as well as makes it look a lot nicer, and it'll help it shine later, because at the end of the week what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll put the kiwi on it, and then it will be ready to ride again. I grew up in Alabama on a boarding farm. My parents have 500 horses that they take care of. That's what I grew up doing. I came up here looking to get away from horses and ended up in Quezon. So kind of backfired, but it's something that I'm familiar with and something that I enjoy now. So I grew up riding Western. I grew up, I've done everything from rodeo to just riding around doing trail rides and stuff on the farm, exercising horses. And then I came up here, and I almost didn't pass the riding test for Quezon, even though I've ridden horses my entire life. I almost didn't pass the riding test because it's completely different. I had to basically forget everything that I had known growing up and relearn how to do it here.
Lord, ho!
We have to put on a good presentation for the family. That's our main job. We're doing a funeral for this family's loved one that passed away, and if they're going to be buried in Arlington Cemetery, then they deserve the respect.
You need a blast now, sir.
Roger that.
Cool.
Boss, please.
Cool.
On NCO, Sergeant Parker, actually, when I was in training, he told me, because a big part of it is nerves. Until you're confident out there, you really can't put forth your best performance. And he told me a little trick that right when you put your glasses on, you should feel untouchable. And that's kind of something that stuck with me. So now, when I literally, that's like my on button. I put my glasses on, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Transformation is complete. Out the door.
Cool. Crazy.
I go walk. See you in the block.
See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Specialist Brizell of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army. Guard of Honor, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
My dedication to the sacred duty is total and wholehearted. In the responsibility bestowed on me, never will I falter. And with dignity and perseverance, my standard will remain perfection. Through the years of diligence and praise and the discomfort of the elements, I will walk my tour in humble reverence to the best of my ability. It is he who commands the respect I protect. His bravery that made us so proud. Surrounded by well-meaning crowds by day, alone in the thoughtful peace of night. This soldier will in honored glory rest under my eternal vigilance.
What we do here is 100%, there's no room for error.
Well, thank you, Sergeant.
When they come back, they're actually more relaxed. You know, after a good day's work, they're pretty tired. They just want to go back into their stall and eat some hay. But before they go back in, since it's been really hot out recently, we've been actually spraying them down before we put them back, which they seem to enjoy a lot more than when you do it early in the morning, you know. But anyway, who likes that wake-up call?
And when you get in the military, you understand tradition is one of the biggest drivers. If you follow it, it's one of the big things. But other than that, whenever you know that you've done your job and you know that it's represented the U.S. Army and you've completed your mission, which is to serve as a mounted escort to our fallen soldiers, that alone gives you a good smile at the end of the day.
We're gonna do this real quick.
Battery, attention.
You're looking at everything from length to measurements to your brass being polished to everything just being where it's supposed to be at. Everything's done down to like a millimeter, and if you're about 2 millimeters off, it's pretty much a re-inspection. And you gotta, you know, whenever that's designated, you gotta be there, and hopefully you don't have another re-inspection, because then it's some push-ups.
How you doing, dude? Yeah. Good metal, looks good on you. Head down. Belt.
Battery, change. Pop.
Straight in, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. I said slow it down. All the way on, all the way on. Hold up. Up. Where you want it? Sign. Straight in. Guzman. Guzman. Straight in. Go back to the phone. Straight in. Sign. Steady. Straight in. Buccaneer, unlock the far trail legs to me, CH. Steady. Lock the near, unlock the far trail legs away, CH. Lock the far, unlock the near, trail legs away, CH. Downhill, be easy. Steady.
We clean the guns daily, and they constantly being resurfaced. We put a lot of time and effort and pride into the guns, and that's a big part of what we do.
Because they're so old. On an average day, we'll probably spend maybe about 4 to 5 hours just cleaning them, shining them up, polishing whatever needs to be polished and everything like that. And then includes once we do get them where they're going, they still get cleaned once we get there. The metal gets, sanded down over and over again to give it that shine. Yeah, we're never seen, but we're always heard. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps.
When people watch our performance, I think we are so unique. It's not something that you see anywhere. If they see us play Sparks, the true patriotism that happened in 1776.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army Drill Team.
That's one of the things that sets us apart from the rest of the ceremonial drill teams that the armed forces have. We actually put a little bit what we call flair in the drill, and it gives the audience a chance to get involved with us and stuff like that. Like on the ends of the lines, we'll step out and like wave or fix our tie or something like that, which it gives the crowd a little bit of humor and takes away from the so serious part of the drill team. It lets us know that we're still human.
In addition to the soldiers on the field before you, the Presidential Salute Battery is led by Staff Sergeant Des Lindsay from Baltimore, Maryland.
It's just an honor and a privilege to be here, and I love what we do, and I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
When a soldier enjoys his work, then he will do it to the, absolute best of his ability. And the training that we put these soldiers through here makes them even better as far as, like we were talking about before, as far as the precision and the exactness of how they do it.
I don't have any more notes.
Very good. Excellent.